Hello my friends, Rodil here, and today I want to talk about my experiences with the VIVO V27. I actually have the global version, as the global launch of the phone was about 2 months ago, and I've been using it heavily ever since. So I'm going to tell you all about my experiences. We're going to start with a quick unboxing. I have everything unboxed, as I just told you. I've been using this guy, and the phone is over here. It's amazing. There's a lot of big advantages that I found while using it. I'm going to tell you all about them today. I got this free, as you can see, cover for the phone, which I really like. It's a transparent one, so you can see how beautiful this phone really is. And we are going to talk about this nice little feature in a moment, because I actually really used it and tested it out. We also get this 80-watt charger. The phone uses flash charge that's actually 66 watts, can get your phone charged up in about 70 minutes for my testing. And also you can use your phone for around 12 hours with media playing, screen on, which is insane for a phone that has 4600 milliamps per hour battery. You get the cable over here, and you get the SIM extractor, or the actual SD card, a SIM card extractor, sorry, because there is no SD card expansion on this, only dual SIM slot here on the bottom with this Type-C port. And the speaker, there's no double speaker on this. This is a mono speaker. It comes only, the sound comes only from the bottom side of the phone. So let's talk about the first thing and the biggest thing when using these kinds of phone, which are not flagship phones. And for me, that's getting a decent performance rating, and that's exactly what I got with this guy, with an Antutu score of 631,000, which is amazing. So I love this score because it actually enables me to do whatever I want to do. Basically edit videos, 4K, 1080p, everything works. Play all the recent games, it works amazingly well. I also have a table I want to show you guys that has all these ratings on it. So I've been testing a lot of mobile phones, and if you have not been following me, you are more than invited to do that, so you can actually stick with me on my future adventures and see my future comparisons. But in the end, the VIVO V27 is really stable at around the 14th place, and I got amazing results when it comes to its benchmarks at this price range that you can actually buy this phone right now. So single core of 1092 and 2469 on Geekbench, with a decent score of 4300 on 3D Mark Wildlife Unlimited. That means basically any game that I tested will run successfully on this phone, and the Antutu score, which we already talked about. So this uses the FunTouch OS from Vivo. If you haven't been using Vivo phones, you will love this operating system on Android 13. It runs amazingly well. It's very fast, and I just love this operating system. I actually tested 3 Vivo phones, and it's one of my favorite OSs as of now. We talked about the battery, but I want to talk about the capacity of the storage and the RAM. So 256 gigabytes. I actually have this phone with the 8 gigabyte RAM version, and you can definitely get it with a 12 gigabyte RAM. If you are planning to do some video editing, that's probably going to be a good thing to do. And also this phone comes in a Pro version that's a bit more expensive. That's going to add around 200,000 points to your Antutu score and performance. So if you can afford that, you probably want to go with the Pro version. The camera array is still the same. We're going to do a camera test in a moment. I'm going to show you how much I got. So after talking about performance, I just want to show you guys how fast this guy is really. I mean, it gets the job done. But the biggest feature for me is that, as a person who watches a lot of media and uses the phone a lot to watch videos, this phone weighs only 189 grams, less than 190. So that means I can use this phone for a long time, and it's not gonna fall off my face just like a huge weight lift like I usually do with my flagship. So I love the fact that this is a big phone with a 6.78 inch screen that has a great refresh rate of 120 Hertz, and it still doesn't weigh that much. So this is the display, and it looks good. I like the colors on it. In the end, it's probably not the best display, as you are getting in the end display that's on other phones, and I didn't see an LTPO feature on this, so it doesn't have a big effect on battery life anyway, but you got better screens on the market right now. I think it still looks amazing. I just love the way that this display looks like. It's very sharp, and the pixel per inch here is decent. So after talking about the display, I want to talk about the camera array here. As you can see, we have a nice camera array here in the back, but most of it is actually useless. The main camera here is the biggest thing, with a primary camera that has a sensor size of 1/1.56 inch, and that's a great sensor. I've seen it on many other mobile phones, a great sensor size, but in the end, it's a newer version of that sensor, and it actually gets amazing results. We are going to look at examples soon in a moment. There's an ultra-wide 8 megapixel one. Don't really like this camera. It's an 8 megapixel. I really need a minimum of 12 megapixels these days to do some cropping on my videos and photos. And also, we have a 2 megapixel macro, which is not good. You're not gonna use that, but you still have it on the phone. And you have this. This is one of the biggest features that I have on this specific mobile version of this phone, which is the Aura light, basically a small ring light that really gets everything done well when it comes to LED lights. And we are going to see an example of that in a moment. So all in all, that's the back camera array. On the front, we have a really nice selfie camera over here, which I'm going to show you my examples of its photos. So let's just take a look at everything right now. I have actually everything set up with a bunch of photos that I took. And the first thing I want to show you guys is this. This is the Aura light feature. It's turned on. As you can see, I get a lot of details when taking a selfie photo. Now, when you turn it off, you'll see how in the same room, same scenario, you don't get much details. You get a lot of blurriness on it, a lot of noise, and even with AI night mode, it's still not the same as adding this new feature, which I love. I'm definitely recommending it, and you should definitely use that. So some more photos of me. Now we are looking at the primary camera on this phone, and as you can see, these two photos look the same, but there's one difference between them, and that's the colors. I actually used one of Vivo's features here, which enhances the colors, and as you can see, this is the one that seems like it's more natural, and that's because we have this feature enabled over here, and we have it turned off over here, so it's a bit more saturated. So you have the option to control colors. All in all, the primary camera does a good job. I could definitely use this photo, even crop into the photo and get great results. The selfie camera here is also very nice. As you can see, we got a bit of blurriness in the background, a lot of details on this photo, and I just love how natural it looks. And also the colors, like in this photo, they just look very good. As you can see, this ball actually looks like that in real life. It's saturated as hell, and I use it on my testings. Another photo shows you the separation of item from its background when using the primary camera. It's the biggest thing with this phone. And some more food shots. I hope you guys already ate, because I'm going to show you some of my mother's cooking in this little review. So yeah, here's another nice photo I really like, where you can see how great the focus on this camera, on the primary camera, is. Just spot on my little doggy over here. And also some photos of the macro lens, which I told you probably not gonna use because it's 2 megapixel, doesn't have that many details, but still maybe you want to use it sometime. And as you can see, it looks like this. And also there's another macro photo over here of this carrot. And yeah, I'm never gonna use this camera. Here's another example of the primary camera over here, and another example of how you can use the selfie camera, which looks awesome. The photos here are great. Definitely great work from Vivo on the selfie camera. So more food shots. Yeah, I like this. Is falafel, and it's amazing. You should try it out. It's a homemade falafel, actually. If you don't know what falafel is, you should definitely try it. My favorite food. I eat falafel every week. And yeah, I just want to show you guys how well the background basically blurs out when you're using this primary camera on the phone. And I want to show you another example here of the ultra wide camera with the primary camera, just so you can see how much detail you're going to lose when choosing the ultra wide over the primary. And that's a big thing because you're getting an 8 megapixel ultra wide with this. It's not the best. So here's another photo just showing you differences between ultra wide and primary, ultra wide and primary. And when you zoom in, obviously it's going to be digital zoom, so no zoom in camera on this phone. It's a digital zoom one, and it does the job. I mean, I could definitely use this, but you can't zoom in that much more. So yeah, the ultra wide not doing a great job with this phone. It's one of the negatives of it. So yeah, that's like basic examples. I want to show you some video examples also, because I did take some video examples while using this phone. So the first video I want to show you guys is this one. It's from that same performance. As you can see, the main camera does a great job. Video is very stable, and I just love the results on it, even though I'm handhelding this phone and moving. When you zoom in, it's a digital zoom, doesn't get the job that good, that well, but hey, you have the option to do that. Here's another video of me panning and zooming on the same food you saw before. In the end, it is amazing. The autofocus works well. The colors are great on this camera. I would definitely use it a lot if I was holding this phone and using it as a primary phone. And here is our favorite falafel over here. Another video of me moving and walking with 4K resolution, 30 frames per second. You can go up with this to 60 frames, 1080p also. Go down to 1080p, 60 frames, and it looks great. The autofocus is great, and I just love the way that the autofocus works on this phone. You could see now it went from focusing on the background straight to the plant over there. Here's the selfie camera with 4K resolution. Looks amazing. We still have flagships on the market that don't have 4K resolution or any selfie camera, and we have it over here on this mid-range priced phone. But as you can see, stabilization is not great when using this camera. So when turning that on, you'll see you get more noise on the video, and it's actually not that sharp, but hey, you got stabilization on it. So you do have the feature to open stabilization on it. Another feature that's not really looking well right now in terms of ratio for some reason on my video player on VLC is this one. This is basically blurring the background right now. As you can see, it's a digital blurriness function, so you can see that my ear over here is not great when it comes to separation from the background. So I don't really like that feature, but hey, you still have it on the mobile phone if you wanna use something like that. So yeah, a lot of features on this mobile phone, but all in all, a great package coming from Vivo at a decent price, and I definitely recommend it. I think it's a man's phone. Sorry for my genderification over here, but they have smaller phones that are more suited for people with smaller hands, which usually are females. So I actually recommend the V23, for example, for a female when I do want to recommend one, because the screen is just too big for most ladies to actually get to the other side of the display. But just like for men like me who want to have a big phone, who have big hands, this could be a great mobile phone. And it's also not very heavy. It's not heavy at all, and that's something you don't see on many other mobile phones. So a huge recommendations for me for this guy, and I hope you enjoyed my reviews from it. I'm definitely going to drink 1 liter of water, as I think my my neck is dead. But I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see me on my future gadget reviews. I have some more coming up, really cool stuff. I want to show you something that really I got screwed with. I actually ordered this toolkit. I will talk about probably in my next video about how they screwed me up and sent me something that's basically torn, and what happened with me contacting them. It's a different story, but definitely want to subscribe to see my future gadget reviews, including my story of what the hell happened with this toolkit. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on my future gadget reviews. I was Rotodil. Bye bye.